20 years ago as a freshman, you had your ear pierced with a cool little hoop in that thing for, I don't know, a year or two. So
It
you
was a
are going to be,
diamond stud. It
it
was
was a,
awesome.
okay, sure. Yes, very awesome. So
And
you're
I
going
wa
to be our resident
Okay.
jewelry expert here. You're the
Yeah.
closest thing that we've got. Okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
Let's say you're still a jewelry guy and another hoop earring is on your wish list this year. What do I need to know about how my home insurance applies to jewelry?
Very good question. Back when I was, 18 years old, it wasn't even on my mind. I was going uninsured with that
Uninsured.
$10 hoop earring, believe it or not. Like to roll
Four
the
years ago
dice.
at
Yeah.
18
Yeah.
years old.
Shut up.
Good. Okay.
All right. All right. So that's a great question. Jewelry is considered personal property coverage. And if someone looks at their home insurance policy, they're going to see a line called personal property. And it's going to be something like 300, 400, $500,000,
Okay.
and they're right to assume that jewelry is personal property, just like their clothing, furniture, electronics, kitchenware, sports equipment, gardening tools, their holiday decorations.
Okay.
But if you look at the fine print of a home insurance policy, you'll read that the personal property coverage is only going to apply to certain instances. Certain things that occur can be resulting in a claim, but there's not very many of them. And they're
Okay.
things like fire, smoke, lightning, wind, hail, explosion, burst plumbing, impact with a vehicle. Is any of that going to happen to your jewelry?
I'll tell you what happened to my jewelry. I lost the first wedding ring in the bottom of Lake Michigan, and then the second one a month later in the bottom of an inland lake. That's what happens to jewelry.
That's
Is that
exactly what
covered?
happens to
Is
jewelry.
that covered by a home insurance policy?
That is not. That wasn't fire, smoke, lightning, explosion, burst plumbing, burglary, blah, blah, blah.
No,
Right?
it
So
was not.
those,
That was a new silicone 99-cent ring off of Amazon.
exactly. So what we call those are the oops scenarios. Maybe you
Oops,
dropped it in
yes.
a lake, but maybe you forgot it at a hotel or you left it at the TSA checkpoint in the airport, or maybe you were, on the chairlift in February and you were, warming up your hands and it falls off your finger and it's in the snow and you can't find it. All those types of scenarios are an oops instance, and that's not covered under the personal property coverage of a homeowner's policy.
Okay.
And something else to be aware of is you might look at your policy and see something called jewelry, and it might say $2,500. It's not saying you have $2,500 of this special, wonderful, great jewelry coverage. It's saying that even if one of those things happened that are very unlikely for that personal property coverage, the most they'll still even pay would be 2,500 bucks.
Hmm.
So just because you see the word jewelry listed on your home insurance policy, it doesn't mean it's covered for the things that are actually going to happen to your jewelry. It means if one of those very, very unusual and infrequent things happens, even then they're still only going to pay 2,500 bucks. So
So if I do have expensive jewelry and I do want to have coverage for the oopsie type of thing, what on earth do I do about it?
what you do is you talk to your insurance agent
Okay,
and you
Mr.
say,
Insurance Agent, what do I do?
I've got this item. It's worth, for example, $8,000. So you provide a value and you give them a description of it. It's a 14 karat yellow gold band with a 1 carat diamond.
Okay.
And they're going to say, wonderful. Would you like that to be insured on your home insurance policy? And you're going to say yes. If it was
Yes.
valued at about $8,000, you would expect to pay maybe 80 bucks a year for this coverage.
Okay.
And by saying yes, what's going to happen is it's going to be covered for pretty much everything that could happen to it. Those
Okay.
oops scenarios that we mentioned previously are going to be covered. And you're not going to have a policy deductible. A lot of people have a 1,000, 1,500, 2,500, even $5,000 deductible on their home insurance policy these days.
Okay.
That's not going to apply. So you don't have a deductible, and it's going to apply to all those crazy scenarios that typically happen to jewelry, not the fire, smoke, explosion. That stuff doesn't happen, right? You need to have it listed specifically on there so the things that do actually happen to jewelry will be covered by the policy.
Got it. Well, thank you for that intel, Derek. It's helpful to have a walkthrough about what actually happens out there and what you should be doing about it. If anyone at home has questions about their wish list or their jewelry collection, we'd love to provide some input to you, help make sure that your collection and your investment is protected. We at Bor Insurance Group